The message read, "This is a notice from the Family Law Mediation Office, representing the Birth Mother Rights Coalition. Your surrogacy arrangement is under investigation. To avoid prosecution, you are advised to terminate immediately."
Perfect, she whispered. Now she knows someone's watching.
32 miles away, Sarah Keller was folding onesies in her sunlit living room when her phone buzzed.
She squinted at the screen. Family law mediation? What is this?
The message used legal phrases, but it didn't cite any case number or attorney.
This has to be spam. I'm calling Nicole later to joke about it.
She deleted the text and set the phone face down on the coffee table. Back in her apartment, Amanda refreshed her message status. Delivered. Read.
She saw it. The seed is planted.
Amanda saved the number under a false contact, already drafting the next threat. She didn't know the surrogate would start keeping track. For 3 years, Nicole Reeves had lived in the shadow of late-term loss. 3 failed IVFs and 1 daughter who never took a breath. She no longer trusted good news.
I can't go through another loss, David. I can't.
Their fertility specialist finally said the words they'd been dreading. A gestational surrogate might be their only path forward.
Someone else carrying our baby? What if she changes her mind?
We've survived worse, Nick. Let's just meet her.
Sarah Keller was a former nurse, with a soft voice and hands that didn't shake. She told Nicole she'd treat this pregnancy like it was her own.
I know this is terrifying, but I'm not going to disappear on you.
The embryo transfer took place on a Tuesday morning. Nicole couldn't watch, just squeezed David's hand until her knuckles went white. 2 weeks later, the test showed 2 pink lines. Nicole just stared at the stick, refusing to believe it. By 24 weeks, Sarah's belly was round, and the baby's kicks were strong. Nicole finally allowed herself to paint the nursery. The caption read, "Congratulations to my sister on buying a baby. Must be nice to skip the real work." Nicole was in the nursery choosing a crib when the post popped up on her feed.
Buying a baby? She knows what we went through.
She didn't tell David. She forced herself to believe Amanda was just being Amanda.
Amanda, we're having a gender reveal on Saturday. Can you come?
I'm busy.
She's never happy for me. Why do I even try?
The party went on without her. Pink confetti clung to David's hair, and Nicole laughed, but part of her kept glancing at the door.
So is the surrogate handling the nursery setup too? Or are you finally doing something yourself?
Nicole chose to believe it was only petty jealousy. She had no idea Amanda was already 2 months deep into a scheme that wouldn't just sting, it would aim straight for her daughter. At 25 weeks, Sarah felt the baby kick just as her phone buzzed on the exam table. The text read, "This is a follow-up from the Birth Mother Rights Coalition. Nicole Reeves has been flagged for child endangerment. Prosecution is imminent if the pregnancy continues. We urge you to reconsider."
Child endangerment? Nicole? That can't be true.
She read it twice more, her throat tightening each time.
This is insane. Who sends something like this?
But she didn't forward it to Nicole. Not yet. She told herself she was protecting her from stress.
If I tell Nicole, she'll worry herself sick. The baby doesn't need that.
Later, she drove home in silence, the message glowing in the back of her mind like an unread alarm.
It's probably still a prank. Just someone cruel.
But she didn't delete this one. She couldn't. At 26 weeks, Nicole stood in the nursery, smoothing a tiny blanket over the crib rail. She let herself believe the baby was coming.
David, feel this. She's doing somersaults.
20 miles away, Sarah's phone lit up with an attachment. A document header. Bold lettering. Order to cease and desist. The text below it read, "Failure to comply will result in immediate legal action against the gestational carrier. This is your final warning."
Final warning. They've never called me. Never sent mail. This isn't a real court.
She scrolled back through the 2-month thread, each message more personal, each one naming Nicole.
If they know Nicole's name, they could contact her directly. Why haven't they? Something's not right. I need to tell her. But if I do, she'll panic.
She saved the document to a locked folder and closed the phone. Her pulse wouldn't slow. She didn't know the sender was watching her read receipts, waiting for a crack in her silence. But that crack was already forming. The fourth text arrived at midnight. It read, "Your silence is noted. If you do not confirm termination within 24 hours, we will pursue criminal conspiracy charges against both you and Nicole Reeves. This is your final notice."
Criminal charges? Now they're threatening us both. This can't be real, but what if it is?
She stood up and paced the room, the phone cold in her hand. The same number, the same false authority.
I have to find out who this is. This isn't a prank anymore. This is someone with a plan.
She opened her laptop but hesitated. If she traced the number and it led somewhere dangerous, what then?
I'm not telling Nicole until I have answers. She deserves to know, but not like this. Not without proof.
She typed phone number reverse lookup into the search bar. A list of services appeared, most asking for payment. She found a site that promised full contact details for a small fee. The cursor blinked over the field where the phone number belonged.
Tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, after the checkup.
She stared at the screen until it dimmed, the number already memorized. Tomorrow she would know who was targeting her, and she would take that name to Nicole. The next morning, Sarah sat at her kitchen table before sunrise. She opened the reverse lookup site and entered the memorized number. She paid the fee. The screen refreshed, and a name appeared above an address she recognized. The contact card popped up. Amanda Cole. Nicole's sister.
Amanda? Nicole's sister? Why would she?
She clicked the name. The contact card expanded, showing a photo of Amanda, the same woman she'd seen tagged in Nicole's family photos.
Her own sister, targeting an unborn baby. I have to tell Nicole, but how do you tell someone that?
She took a screenshot of the contact card, then opened the 2-month thread and captured every message. She saved them to a folder labeled Evidence, her hands trembling but certain.
This isn't just harassment. It's a crime.
Then she picked up her phone and dialed Nicole's number.
Sarah? Is everything okay? You sound upset. It's so early.
Nicole, I need you to sit down. I'm sending you something important. I traced the number.
The file arrived with a ping. The contact card and the 2-month thread of threats. With it came Amanda's contact information, pulled from the reverse lookup.
Amanda's name and photo. The woman who had posted that cruel jab about buying a baby.
She scrolled through the messages, each one a fabricated legal threat, each one demanding termination, each one signed by a phantom lawyer.
She threatened you for 2 whole months, Sarah. 2 months.
I thought it was a prank at first. I didn't want to worry you. I'm sorry.
This wasn't just jealousy. This was a systematic attack on my pregnancy.
She couldn't speak. Her hand slid to her belly, pressing against the soft cream blouse as if to shield the baby from the words on the screen.
She wanted Sarah to terminate. She wanted my baby dead.
Nicole ended the call and dropped the phone onto the kitchen island as if it burned her. Tears streaked her face, but her jaw was locked with fury.
Nick, what happened? You look like you've seen a ghost.
She couldn't speak. She just slid the phone across the counter, the screen still lit with Amanda's contact card and the 2-month thread of threats. David picked it up and scrolled through the messages, his eyes widening as he read the fake legal jargon and the demands for termination.
This is Amanda's number. Your sister did this?
Yes. She's been sending these for 2 months, David. To Sarah. She wanted her to terminate.
He set the phone down and pulled Nicole against him. She felt his heart pounding through his shirt.
We're calling a lawyer today. This is criminal harassment and impersonation.
She's my sister. But this isn't forgivable. Not after what she did to Sarah.
That evening, they gathered the screenshots into a folder labeled Evidence. Nicole's protective fury had crystallized into something immovable, and David stood unshaken beside her. The next morning, Nicole sat alone at the kitchen table with the phone in her hand. Amanda's contact photo stared back at her from the screen, still smiling.
Amanda, it's Nicole. Don't hang up. I know about the messages you sent to Sarah.
What messages? Nicole, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you okay?
Don't lie to me. 2 months of threats, fake court orders, demanding Sarah terminate my pregnancy.
That's insane. You're accusing me of something I'd never do. You sound paranoid.
The number traces to your contact card. Sarah has screenshots of everything. Your photo is on the file.
On the other end, Amanda's voice hardened. No more confusion. Just a brittle silence that stretched for 3 full seconds.
I never meant for it to go this far. She was supposed to just back away, not call the police.
The line went dead. Amanda had hung up. Nicole set the phone down and pressed both hands against her belly. The baby kicked, a small sharp reminder of everything Amanda had tried to destroy. That afternoon, Nicole and David stepped into Ellen Harris's office. The folder of evidence sat between them like a loaded weapon.
What we have here is criminal harassment, plus impersonating a legal officer. Both are serious. We can add intentional infliction of emotional distress because Sarah was a third-party victim targeted for 2 months.
And what would that mean for Amanda? What's the worst she could face?
At minimum, a misdemeanor with probation and a permanent criminal record. Possibly a restraining order.
Do we have enough to make it stick?
The digital trail is airtight. The reverse lookup, the screenshots, the contact card, it's a prosecutor's gift.
Nicole looked at David, then back at the lawyer. Her voice was quiet but absolute.
File it. I'm not letting her come near my daughter.
She signed the complaint that afternoon, her hand firm on the pen. The defendant listed, Amanda Cole. 2 days later, a process server walked up to Amanda's door and handed her a thick envelope. She opened it right there on the stoop. The words criminal complaint were the first thing she saw.
Nicole actually filed. She's taking me to court.
The charges were listed: criminal harassment, impersonation of legal counsel, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Within the hour, Amanda was on the phone with her parents, screaming that Nicole was out to destroy her. That evening, Nicole's phone rang. Her mother's voice came through tearful and sharp.
She sent a false cease-and-desist to my surrogate. For 2 months, she tried to make her terminate. I will not drop the charges. This isn't a family disagreement. It's a crime.
She set the phone down and David placed his hand on her shoulder. She didn't cry. The time for tears was over.
The law is on our side, and so am I.
The next evening, her parents arrived without calling. Her mother's voice was shaking when Nicole opened the door. Her father stood behind, arms crossed, but it was her mother who begged, "Drop the charges. Nicole, Amanda is still your sister."
She terrorized my surrogate for months. She wanted my baby dead. And you want me to just forget?
Her mother flinched, but kept pressing. The phrase, "think of the family," came up more than once.
This isn't a family disagreement. It's a crime. You need to understand that.
If a stranger had done this, you'd demand the maximum. Why is it different because she shares my blood?
The room went quiet. Her father finally spoke, but it was only to say they'd lost both daughters now. David stepped closer, his hand firm on Nicole's back. He didn't say a word, but the message was clear.
I'm not dropping the charges. Not now. Not ever. Now please leave.
They left without another word. Nicole closed the door and leaned against it, heart pounding but resolve unbroken. 3 days later, Amanda showed up at Nicole's doorstep unannounced. She looked tired, but the performance was rehearsed.
Nicole, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. Please, let's just talk.
You weren't thinking straight for 2 months? You sent fake legal documents? You tried to force a termination.
Amanda's eyes flickered to the side, the apology already slipping. She was here to save herself, not to make amends.
I'll do anything. Just drop the charges. Mom and Dad are devastated.
You haven't said a word about Sarah, about what you put her through. This isn't an apology. It's a negotiation.
Nicole saw the truth in the silence that followed. Amanda didn't regret the harm. She regretted getting caught.
Get off my property. I'm done.
Amanda didn't move at first, hoping for a crack in Nicole's armor, but Nicole's expression was solid, unyielding. She turned and walked inside, closing the door without looking back. Amanda stood on the porch, alone. 3 weeks later, the preliminary hearing convened. Amanda sat rigidly at the defendant's table, refusing to meet anyone's eyes.
She impersonated a legal mediator for 2 months. She told my surrogate I was under investigation. She demanded termination.
She held up her phone, the screenshots displayed on the courtroom monitor, each message more damning than the last.
I kept the messages because I was terrified. I didn't know if they were real. I didn't sleep for weeks.
Her voice cracked on the last word, and Nicole's hand tightened on the armrest. The judge leaned forward, expression grave.
The digital trail is undeniable. The contact card, the reverse lookup, the message timestamps. It all points to one person.
Amanda's lawyer objected twice, but each time the judge overruled. The weight of evidence was too heavy. The prosecutor displayed the forged cease-and-desist document beside a real court order. Even from the gallery, the contrast was glaring. Amanda stared straight ahead, not once turning toward Nicole or Sarah. Her face was pale, but her jaw remained tight. The judge set a date for the next hearing. Outside the courtroom, Ellen told Nicole a plea deal was almost certain. The next hearing lasted 20 minutes. Amanda's lawyer spoke first, his voice low and defeated.
Guilty. The word came out barely a whisper, but it filled the room.
The judge accepted the plea and sentenced her to 18 months of probation with mandatory counseling. Nicole watched from the gallery, her hand pressed flat against her belly. She felt no satisfaction.
Justice, yes, but it didn't feel like healing. It felt like a door slamming shut.
The judge added a permanent no-contact order protecting Nicole, David, Sarah, and the unborn child. Amanda kept her eyes on the floor, her jaw tight. She didn't look at Nicole. When the gavel struck, Nicole exhaled. David's hand tightened around hers, but neither spoke. Outside the courthouse, Amanda walked past them toward a waiting car, her lawyer beside her, her face blank. Nicole turned away first, one hand on her belly. 13 weeks. That was all that mattered now. At 39 weeks, Nicole's water broke just past midnight. Within an hour, she was gripping David's hand in the delivery room, her face white with effort.
I can't do this. It hurts too much.
You can. After everything we've faced, this is nothing. We're right here.
You're doing beautifully, Nicole. Just a few more minutes.
Sarah stood at Nicole's shoulder, her own eyes wet. She had carried this baby for 9 months, but now she was just a friend, a witness. At 3:15 a.m., the room filled with a sharp, furious cry. The sound filled every corner, pushing back the years of silence. The doctor placed the baby on Nicole's chest. She was pink, furious, and perfect.
Charlotte. Her name is Charlotte.
She's beautiful. After everything, she's here.
Nicole pressed her lips to the downy head, feeling the heat of new life against her skin. In that moment, the threats in the courtroom felt like someone else's nightmare. The christening was held on a clear Sunday morning at the small stone church Nicole and David had chosen weeks before.
We're ready, she said, her voice steady as she handed Charlotte to Sarah for the blessing.
I swear before you all to protect this child as my own, Sarah said, her voice clear as the priest nodded.
The water touched Charlotte's forehead, and she blinked up without crying, as if she understood the weight of the moment.
She carried her for 9 months, she kept her safe, and now she's family in every way that matters.
At the reception, a chair remained empty. Amanda's name was not on the guest list, and no one spoke it.
She's not here, and that's on her. This is our family now.
I know, and I wouldn't change it.
She's going to have the most protected life, I promise you that.
That day, Charlotte was claimed by the circle Amanda had once tried to break, and the circle held tight. A year later, the backyard filled with streamers and the smell of birthday cake. Nicole had invited everyone but one.
I still check the driveway on mornings like this. Old habit.
She's not coming, Nick. The order is permanent.
The empty chair at the table was not a mistake. It was a statement.
She would have poisoned this day too. The peace here is because she's not.
They sang to Charlotte, who clapped her hands, oblivious to the family fracture.
This is our circle. It's enough.
It's everything.
Later that night, while everyone else slept, Nicole sat in the nursery rocker, Charlotte drowsy in her arms. There were no second thoughts. Only the quiet certainty that she had drawn a line and held it, for her daughter and for herself. The nursery was quiet now, the mobile casting soft shadows on the wall. Nicole traced her fingers over the crib rail, remembering.
I still see those texts sometimes, the fake cease and desist, the threats, but they feel smaller now. Charlotte, you'll never know how close you came, but I knew and I fought.
She thought of Amanda, somewhere out there, on probation, barred from this room and this life. It wasn't triumph she felt, but resolve.
I chose this family. I chose Sarah, David, and Charlotte. I will always choose them.
The betrayal had been a wound, but the birth of her daughter had been the balm. And Sarah's loyalty was the thread that held it all together. No more looking back. The future was here, breathing softly against her shoulder.
They told me I couldn't trust the law, but I trusted the truth. And it was enough.
She kissed the warm crown of Charlotte's head, and in that simple gesture sealed a promise that needed no paper. The empty chair would remain at other gatherings, but Nicole had long since stopped waiting for it to be filled. That same evening, a soft knock came at the nursery door. Sarah slipped in, holding a small box wrapped in silver paper.
I brought her a christening gift. Better late than never.
She'll love it, just like she loves her godmother.
They spoke briefly about ordinary things, pediatrician visits, new teeth, the price of diapers, but the real conversation happened in the quiet.
She looks lighter. The weight she carried is finally gone.
I used to worry that I'd regret cutting Amanda off. Now I just feel free.
Sarah reached over and touched Charlotte's cheek, then looked at Nicole, her eyes saying everything words couldn't hold.
You did the right thing, Nick. All of it.
They sat like that until Charlotte stirred, the silence between them full of unspoken gratitude and the shared memory of a fight they'd won.
She was my sister once. Now Sarah is family. Real family.
Months later, another family dinner filled the house with laughter. The empty chair remained, but it no longer felt like a wound, just a boundary. Nicole paused in the doorway, Charlotte on her hip, and watched Sarah lift the baby's hand in a wave.
Family isn't always blood. It's the people who show up when it matters.
David came up behind her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders, no words needed. The fight had cost her a sister, but it had built her something stronger, a circle no threat could breach. Sarah had protected Charlotte before she was born. Now she would watch her grow, the godmother who never flinched. In the quiet of that evening, surrounded by the people who had chosen her back, Nicole let herself breathe. She no longer waited for an apology. She no longer looked over her shoulder. She had drawn a line, and the world for once had respected it. That was enough, because some wounds don't heal by forgetting. They heal by protecting what's on the other side.